Hello and welcome once again. I am your Warlock Lover, and today we will be going over the full story of Ursula's return. Now I will preface this and say the Illumineer's quest, Deep Trouble, will be getting its own video after retail release to give people more time to have an opportunity to experience that on their own if they so wish. And I also want to clarify that my presentations, especially this one, are theories on how the story unfolds, so always take them with a grain of salt. So for this video, we will only be going over the set, and to fully understand the story, we need to go back a bit. A little too far, Pip.
Oops, sorry, Lover. Rewinding, or fast forwarding. Whoops!
There we go. This is the moment that this all began, when Martin opened the sealed lore book and set forward in motion everything that will unfold from Rise of the Floodborn to Ursula's return and beyond. We know from our past stories that someone was let out of the lore book along with the flood of ink. In this set we finally learn who it was, Ursula, Mad Sea Witch, along with her Flotsam and Jetsam as well perhaps. The origin of her time before being released from the lore book is still a mystery, though it is probably safe to assume that she is a glimmer from before our time in the Illumineer, one made by the original Illumineers, and much like she will cause chaos for us, cause chaos for them, and perhaps force them to seal her away in the book. But now unleashed, she looks to wreak havoc on Lorcana again. But she is missing something, Triton's trident, which during the chaos of the flood has ended up in the hands of the deceiver of all. So looking to reacquire the trident, she seeks out the deceiver of all and strikes up a contract with her, with promises of ruling Lorcana together. However, she never intended to keep this deal, as we see in Ursula's trickery. A fight breaks out for the two pieces of lore, and the deceiver of all proclaims, "How dare you double-cross me?" The Hexwell crown we see in the Mad Sea Witch card is needed to rule Lorcana, along with the trident. As the fight comes to a close, Flotsam and Jetsam bring the Mad Sea Witch the pieces of lore. They soon after transform to the entangling eels and the Sea Witch Queen. With the trident and crown in hand, Ursula starts looking to recruit glimmers to her side. While there are several glimmers that become entangled by Ursula that we'll go over later, there are several other characters that seem to have been targets for Ursula. We have characters from Rulan. Some ink tendrils can be seen lurking around the madrigals as well, and either through these dark tendrils or Flotsam and Jetsam themselves, we see the start of the entanglement process with Beast wounded, as we see the slippery eels retreating in the background. It wasn't the severity of the wounds, but the sickly substance that caused such unbearable pain. We see Belle trying to cure these wounds, but no matter what she tried, Belle couldn't completely heal the beast's wounds. She then ventures out to find the mystical rose, her last hope. Finding it surrounded in a flood of ink, with no other choice, she reached out for it. Both Belle and the rose left the ink changed, and although the rose lantern could cure the beast, there was a price to be paid for it. What that price is, we don't know yet. Could it be the transformation into a floodborn glimmer? We'll have to see. Other than the eels and entangled glimmers, we do have some villains working alongside Ursula as well. Hans, noble scoundrel, is working to get Anna to Ursula. For what gains, who knows? However, he does succeed in tricking her into thinking that Kristoff has gone missing, as Olaf finds the hat, thinking that Kristoff has headed off towards the storm brewing in the distance. Once Anna talks with Olaf, she heads out into the storm, searching for Kristoff. Elsa, Storm Chaser, seems to have been with her as well, and when she dispersed Ursula's storm, Anna was nowhere to be found. We potentially see her in the Lost in the Woods card, but is that really Anna, or an entangled version of her? We'll have to check the Illumineer's quest in a bit to know for sure. while some villains were willing to— Hey, what are you doing here? Anyways, while some villains were willing to assist Ursula in her goals, some rejected or ignored the call entirely. John Silver, Terror of the Realm, decides to keep to his ship, while those like Nessus, River Guardian, reject the offer, knowing full well that they can make trouble on their own. Others remain passive observers like Maleficent, who sends her trusted companion Diablo to keep an eye on things, while others are making their moves, like Gaston paying off some lackeys to make sure things go right. Hades' meticulous plotter notices this neat little scheme has Ursula's tentacles all over it. That sneaky sea witch. Wait, I can use this. She can keep those obnoxious Illumineers busy while I roll out my own plan. Pain and Panic were sent out to Thebes potentially on a mission. Whether that mission was carried out has yet to be seen. And like Katie said, Ursula has managed to keep the Illumineers distracted as they prepare to face off against her looming threat. We're now almost caught up to where we started with Into the Inklands. However, there is one more event I feel like took place just before our Illumineers headed out on their search for their missing lore, and that is with Bruno Madrigal, who goes missing shortly before this all goes down. As we see an undetected uncle, it appears he's going down possibly to confront Ursula. In Mirabelle Prophecy Finder, we see her putting together the Vision Slab item card. It seems the reason that Bruno left is that he foresaw himself becoming one of Ursula's Entangled. Perhaps he destroyed the prophecy before he left to prevent his family from becoming entangled, and prevent them from seeking him out to keep them out of danger. And as we saw with Into the Inklands and even in Rise of the Floodborn, the Illumineers noticed glimmers going missing while on their hunt for lore, and discovering Ursula's lair way off in the distance, so they start to prepare. With glimmers going missing and Flotsam and Jetsam going around trying to create new entangled glimmers, the Illumineers decide it's time to take action against Ursula. They find new items and pieces of lore like the hidden ink caster that was discovered in a hidden cove by Ariel. This is perhaps a lost caster from the original Illumineers, and who knows what powers it could bring in the hands of a glimmer, or perhaps it will be handed off to an Illumineer. She also has this strange device sitting in her grotto redirecting light. What could this be for? We see that we're coming up with unique and different ways to utilize ink outside of summoning glimmers through items like the Ice Block, Vitalisphere, and Photosphere. We even see a new Floodborn Aurora casting new protections on the recollected pieces of lore. And not only are we looking for ways to fight the entangled glimmers, but also ways to heal them as we see in Benja, Bold Uniter. We understand that it is Ursula's evil magic that has done this to our fellow glimmers, so we aren't hoping to destroy them, but rather bring them back to us as the card Bruno's return hopefully is showing us Bruno returning from his entangled state. With all of this new gear in tow, we see our Illumineers prepare to face off against Ursula for the fate of Lorcana. As I said, we'll be going over the next part of the story with Deep Trouble after the retail release, and we hopefully get a chance to play it for ourselves. So be sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, as I have several lined up for the coming weeks. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I'll see you on the next page.